Good afternoon. This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I've been doing a lot of work. Doesn't look like it, but I have been. Uh, I do have one row of switchgrass in here, and I'm using that to run. I gotta get this out of here. Run. There should be two. Yeah. Sorry. I have to hook that up to a vending machine, a refrigerator vending machine, but I haven't gone to tier 2 on the this stuff yet, so I have to make Constantine. I haven't done that yet. So this is kind of a manual thing at the moment. I just got to put it in the refrigerator until I do that. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I modified my my LaRre codes. Notice that they're not moving. I found it kind of annoying that these things go back and forth constantly when they don't have to. It's kind of noisy and just overall a little annoying. So I have two LaRre codes now. I have a LaRre code that, hold a second, did I input that? Housing 1, there we go. Come on, there we go. One that checks for mature plants, which in this case here, I don't need seeds, because once you pull the last one out, they stay. These here need to be reseeded every time. So I got two modes. I got a mode where there isn't any reseeding necessary, and a mode where they have to be reseeded. So I put both of those in my the mod list. But why the LaRre's moving now? So the first thing it does is that I have it jump to hydro check. Now I plugged in all the data to these and renamed these. And you can't see it there, but that's device 11 because it's under station 11, and this is device 2 because it's under station 2. And then over here, this is device 111 because I can't name it device 11 because I already have one. So this one is device 111, and this is LaRre 2. So technically I should name this 211, but I did not. Now I'm probably going through and renaming. They just have to be named something different. So what does hydro check do? The first step in my process now. And what this does, if there's no reseeding necessary, in other words, this is the switchgrass one, it just keeps looping through here until something becomes mature. So I loaded batch named slot 0, and there's the hydro device, and then my hydroponics device number 2, and it checks to see if it's mature. If it's not, it still moves R10 2. It's just the easiest to do it. I move 2 into R10, but then I check if it's greater than 0. Yeah, R0. If it's greater than 0, jump to start, because I have to break this loop. So if there is a mature plant there, it's going to return 1, so then it jumps to start. And it goes up here to start, and then it starts its normal process. Now, since I set R10 to the correct number, it's going to go to the correct one. Then it's going to check that for mature, and even though this says seeds, it'll ignore that. I just didn't take that out of there, only because it's easier just to leave that in and change everything, because I'll run into trouble. But it's going to keep I'm sorry, I've modified this so many times. It's going to check to see if it's mature. If it's mature, then it's going to return a 1, and it's going to jump to seeds. Now, why do I jump it to seeds? It's just easy enough to do that. It just activates it once, waits, and then it jumps to harvest. Now, I could change that, and I might just do that in the future, but harvest checks and loops to harvest every time on these mature plants until there's nothing left that's mature. Then it goes to drop off. And it goes to setting 1, which is the import bin, activates sleeps 3 to give it a chance to cycle. Probably lower that, but doesn't really matter. And then it cycles the in bin, and it goes to wait, and then it goes back to hydro check. So right now, because they're not moving, they're looping in hydro check. And that one should be correct, but let's go back in here for a minute. And go to library. I'm going to update these just in case. So this is no seating necessary. So I'm going to do that and overwrite it. And then I'm going to publish it again. Use this program on plants that do not need reseeding. And I think I screwed up the label on this first one, so that's been updated. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole code because it gets a little repetitive, but if I go to, I hope I didn't just overwrite that. No, that doesn't need reseeding. This thing has been switching a lot on me. I'm being very careful because that has literally been switching a lot. Alright, same thing here. Now these are checking seeding because these need to be reseeded. So it does this and then goes and reseeds also. Now this one just woke up because that is mature. So it's going down there to clear that one out. So what'll happen is it'll go back up here, dump it, and then just sit here and wait for something else to mature. So let's go back into this one. And I want to update this one too. There we go. This one is LaRre 2. It needs to be reseeded. Needs reseeding. Let's dump that in there. Overwrite the instructions. I'll probably republish that just so it's updated. Use this program on plants that do need reseeding. Okay. Should be correct. So both of those are in my mods. I like this. It's actually really nice not to have the LaRres going back and forth constantly. It kind of gets a little annoying. Now this is going to come back down here because that one just turned mature. So what have I got going on over here? Same deal. I'm using this for power generation now, biofuel, the switchgrass item anyway. And I got some sitting in here. I have my same centrifuge program where once it reaches 50, and that one just dumped. But once it reaches 50, it'll automatically dump and then respin back up. I was at 42, so if I wanted to, I could wait here for 8 more. But I won't do that. Let's run through here. I am going to have to get mushrooms because I'm having difficulty even with the furnace running out here keeping my CO2 up with just 2 rows of plants. So I'm going to have to get mushrooms and put them up top there. And I've been actually going to the trader and looking every once in a while, and I have not found the correct trader for quite a while. Trading, they improved it. It's still annoying. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. Trading is annoying. It's just too time consuming. And you know what? I don't want to sit up here and look at a computer screen. Did I turn that off? I did. So let's turn that back on and see what I got here. Stellar Stone Supply and Building Incorporated. I got 2 traders. It's just crazy. I got the medium dish on. I should have more than 2 traders. Let's go to 50. Let's move it a little bit. And while that's moving and reloading, I'll go over here. Jump down. Okay. So this is my outside portion of this. I got the same deal. I got a arc furnace in there. And then this turns on every 3 seconds and feeds one charcoal into the furnace when there's any available. Now I am gaining volatiles like mad again. I'm up to 2 kilomoles in this huge tank. And I have to watch this because it almost overpressurized on me. So if I do start throwing more... I'm going to have to filter all the pollutants and stuff out of here. I got one chemical of pollutants. But I could do that. I just add that up here. No big deal. So what I need to do is just loop a filter with volatiles filters in it and exhaust the rest into space, so I don't need to save them. There's no CO2 in here. That would be nice. But I could just see the only thing that's really high is the pollutants, because this makes pollutants and CO2. But anyway, the biomass gets fed in here, gets fed into an arc furnace, goes into here. When there's something there, I don't know if this is increasing now or not. It is not. So there's nothing. Well, it could be. Oh, it looks like it is. It just jumped up. So there might be some coming out of here pretty soon. I'm just curious of what this jumps up to, because I got walls here. And as you know, walls can't handle more than 200 kilopascals. I have to get to level 2 so I can put a turbo volume pump on there. I'm not there yet. 200. I'm going to damage my walls. There they go. So I do have to get a turbo pump. That is my highest priority. Because this is going to start damaging walls again. There they go. And I got one expansion on here. I need to put more on it apparently. Here we go. So now it's going to run. Didn't seem like it fed it very well there. I may have to tweak that a little bit. That didn't seem to work right. It is going back down, but I got to get a turbo pump. I've got to check that and make sure that's working correctly. It doesn't seem right there. That seemed a little goofy. But if you come over here, I am charging. I put 2 big batteries on there. I'm at least holding steady here. But, you know, again, here we go with the one battery being lower than the rest of the batteries. That is all the food I got left. But of course now I have potatoes and enough that I can make bread, most likely. I just got to get on my horse and do that. This splitter was not working correctly for the longest time. I had to play with it and play with it. Now it looks like it's working correctly. Now these have wheat, but they don't have seeds, so they're not going to get harvested until they go to seed. Now that one dumped, since there's nothing mature, these are all just, it's just going to sit here. I like that. I like not having the LaRre going back and forth. That is about the highest I had in CO2 in a long time. Not much in there, but there still is some. I have that running pretty much constantly now. Oh, as you can see. But there you go. So that's for today. I got some tweaking to do on some of this stuff. I'm not 100% satisfied on how it's running. That's the one that dumped. Especially that stacker out there. That didn't seem to be working very well. Get some CO2 by doing this, probably. Yay! But I don't know why. I'll have to go back to my previous episodes and see if I have something running different here, because that seemed to dump awful fast. Like clearing the stacker and let's see. I don't like the way this is working. I really don't. Read is 0, so it's closed. It's on. So why did it feed them so dang fast? Excuse me. I'm not sure. That doesn't seem right. I'm going to rip that apart and work on it. That doesn't seem to be where I want it to be. And this, my next step in this game, is I absolutely have to put the mods in here so I can get a faster turbo pump, because I am slowly ripping that wall apart. That's the one that it would explode, so it would just go out. No, not really explode, but I guess would be a better word. But I gotta make constant tan, and I haven't done that yet. That's gonna be the next thing I'm gonna do when I log off. Make some constant tan. Wish I might make this go back. Doesn't hurt to sit there. Not sure why I went to that one, but it is working. Oh, the wheat has been picked. So I got wheat sitting over here now, don't I? Yep. That's another reason I gotta go to mod 2 in the machine shop, because I gotta make a refrigerated, where I can put that, a refrigerated vending machine. Maybe I'll just stick it up there. That'd be easier access. I'll put it near the corner or something and just shoot over to it. There you go. I mean, tell me what you think about this. I like the LaRre idling instead of running back and forth. And there was a few lines of code, but I had room for it because of the way they changed these and how they work now. So, kudos to RocketWorks for doing that. That was pretty cool. Letting LaRre read what was directly below it instead of having to read the logic. I'm now reading the logic just to see what the levels of seeds are, which took up 30 lines of code, something like that, which I had extra, so it was not a big deal. Alright, maybe Old Salt Gamer, probably a quick update. I did a lot of work, you know what, one more time before I go. I still, like I said, I still don't like trading. I'm sorry, I just can't get used to trading. It's just not fun. It's too much of a pain in the butt. Probably automate it a little, but you can't interact with the guy automated. Stone supply, void vending. So none of those are going to be, well, that one's going to go in 1 second, but I'm supposed to have 5, and I've got 2. I guess I could go to the large solar panel now that I have more. What's the point of having the small and medium panels, or, you know, satellite dishes, if they don't do their job? I mean, you gotta make them a little more efficient. Just crazy. Here's the medium satellite. I got 2. I'm supposed to have 5. Here's my... I could run more power over here, I guess, and that might help. I think I got it currently hooked up to my... Oh, here we go. I got a new one. What is it? Irrigation. That might be the ticket. I have time for that? Okay, it was going real slow. I want it to go faster. Oop. Oop, that's pretty slow. Let's go the other way. Not much difference. So let's go down first. See what that does. That's faster.
Hydration critical.
Yeah, of course it is. She's gonna have to wait. That's even faster. Alright, let's go. One more. There we go. Maybe I can interrogate it from there. Let's find out. Okay, so 68 from contact. Let's move it this way one. That seems a little slower, but I might be wrong. I'm still 68 from contact. Okay. How about if I go straight up? $63. So now that I'm straight up, I bet you if I go to 180, it'll adjust because I'm looking, it's probably over this way. Okay. It was 63. Still 63. So now let's go back up and see if it increases. We'll go 2. There we go. 50. Yep. Okay, let's go 2 more. Heck, am I tripping on the wire? Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, now I should be able to interrogate it. There we go. Oops, suck it like crazy. Not too bad. 4,500 watts. Probably heating these cables up pretty good. Because this is also running some of the stuff inside. But here we go. I should be able to get my mushrooms off of this, I hope. Then I won't have to bother with anything out here. I need these mushrooms to give me more CO2. Mushrooms are really good about kicking out CO2. Can't. This is off. I'm trying to save power. Now I can end. Alright. How's my water? I still got 10%. I'm not dying. But now I can shut this off. I don't need that anymore. This is for my greenhouse lights. I do the horizontal angle. Turn off my lights, turn them off and on. Oh, crap. What do we got here? Mushroom seed pack, 1 available, 300. So I'll take half my money. Close. And I think that's off. It is. Mushroom plus buy. Anything else I need? I don't think I need any other plants right now. Maybe eventually I'll get ferns. Does this guy even have ferns? There we go, stop. They're only 100. I'll buy them too. Replenish my oxygen if I need it. I'll get that also. Okay, you made the part. Go behind there. It's a little tight there. Yikes. Vend. Alright, so now I got all the plants that I need for quite a while. I turn all this off and I can stop. That's kind of amazing that it happened while I was on the video because, oh, storming down. Because, you know, Rocketworks needs to fix this. You don't need to have the thing turned on for it to indicate a storm, which I think is kind of cheating, but... Alright, so now I got enough where I can make some mushrooms and breed those and put them up there in the dark. And it seems to be working here pretty good. How's this holding up? I got one there and I got one there, so that's good. I got backups in both of them, which means the flip-flop flipper is... Oh, that one just unloaded. Well, I gotta go because I really, really have to fix this overpressurization out here. What's the pressure of the big tank? Is that at 200? Maybe I can just get rid of that pump for now. Need to switch that, don't I? No. It's running. I had to look at that. That just doesn't seem to be working correctly. Okay, we're doing okay on that one. Yeah, it's above 200 anyway, so I can't do that. Storm has arrived. Yikes. Okay. Boy, it's supposed to be a snowstorm, isn't it? Or is it a dust storm? Looks like a dust storm. Okay, I gotta find my way back in here. What was that? Okay. Now that's a good time to end with the storm going here. And there you go. Navy Oldsoft Gamer, still making progress. Still got a lot to do yet. But I'll be back in the next episode and we'll see you then.